And good morning. This is my attempt once more at the Sunday morning model cars and coffee. I haven't been able to get any new builds done since the spring. First we had forest fire smoke, then we had cool weather, and then every time I had a decent break in the weather to go outside and paint, I was at work. And so it was just poor luck all the way around. So hopefully I can get a few nice days where I can make the time and get a few plastic models started, because I do have to paint outside. I don't have a painting facility or a garage or anywhere else I can paint. And I even have to leave the property to paint because I'm renting. And anyone who works with Tamiya Paints knows the fumes are very strong. So it's just also respectful to not paint near where everybody else is. But that being said, I used the Ford decals that came in my Mobius truck, and I put them on this AMT Ford, just to make it pop a little more. I'm always experimenting with my builds, doing different things with them and so forth. Particularly when I don't have time to start any new builds. But yeah, so these are my Fords, and I do like Fords. My last two trucks were F-150s, and the car that I drive now is a 2017 Fusion. And the Fords just kind of grew on me because growing up I did like GM products as well. But you know, you go to car shows and stuff now, and even model builds, everybody's building General Motors products. And even the Mopars are having quite a large following in that regard. So yeah, so the Fords just kind of grew on me over the years. And I still say this is the best looking truck design of all time. The 73 through 1979 Ford F-Series. Back in the day, my dad had one, brother-in-law had one, uncles had them, friends had them. I've driven a few of these myself, never owned one, but driven a few of them. But, so this kind of goes with the theme. So I got the Ford parts truck, and yeah. Then I got my Ford Customs in the backdrop. So I got my, let's place this one over here for now. There's my 1969 Ford XL MPC kit. And again, I've featured this before, and I've outlined the changes on it. There's a full feature on it. But I like it. It's one of my favorites now. So everything's kind of fell together. And the scope of my channel is I want to feature, you know, everyman kind of model builds. You know, what we can do with just paint brushes, detail paint, rattle cans, and sandpaper. How you can build without going to great expenses or feeling the pressure to branch out into you know, more advanced builds like with 3D printed parts and the like. Because again, and I emphasize this in this hobby, it's not rocket science. Like any other hobby, it's how much money and time you have to put towards it. But if you don't have the money and you have the time, which is why I do that, feature a lot of these builds and try to help other people in the hobby, is that if you don't have a lot of money and you put a lot of time into them, you can still get very satisfying builds. You know, these aren't going to go off and win any big model shows, but they'll look good they'll look good in the cabinet. So. And then my 63, these are all AMTs actually. My 63 Galaxie 500. Again, this was originally just painted solid green. And then I like the decals so much, I thought it's kind of a waste not to use them. And this is what I do. Sometimes I'll look at a model and it'll be on my shelf for a long time and I'll think, okay, it's done. Then I'll figure out something else to do with it. And both this and the this build and the XL build, I did flocking on the floor. Because you have those ugly mold lines. And so by flocking it, it covers all that. And the seat belts in this, they're included in the kit. And then after I put the decals on this, you know, it's a mix match, I'll admit that. It's one of those love it or hate it kind of things. You know, who would think of ever going blue with green? I didn't. In a perfect world, I probably would have painted it blue and then, or a different shade of blue with the blue decals. But here we are. That's what I do. I experiment. Took one of my better paint jobs and covered it with odd colored decals. Then originally I put the dummy pipes that were included in this kit on the sides, but it just didn't tie it together, so I used the lower trim there, and then I used some of the gold, very faint gold motifs on the side there to tie it with the interior color. And then still didn't seem to tie together, so I decided to paint the spokes on the wheels that copper color. And yeah, and again, you know, some people will like it, some won't, but there she is in all her glory. And that's the fun part of the hobby. Don't be afraid to try different things. And for me, you know, a lot of it more to do with, like, I could probably spend more money on stuff to do my builds, but I just don't have the work facility to do that. And I'm kind of OCD. Like, I won't go halfway on stuff. So the day I start getting 3D parts and ordering all that stuff and photo etch and all that stuff, that'll be the day that I have a workspace where I can actually lay down different types of paint with an airbrush and a compressor. So that's just how I roll. Yeah, this one turned out, you know, decent. It's a box stock, minus the wheels and tires. Yeah, so I call this my Ford contingent. Try and get them all in order here. So we have You have two classic Fords and a Ford's part truck. A Ford parts truck, sorry. This engine here is again, that's all included in this kit. Oops, there we go. I was just going to point out that I had to make these little shims there so that the hood would sit evenly on there. Otherwise it sinks down into the cowl. It looks kind of odd. So with those little homemade shims, hood sits level. So there it is. It's my Sunday morning model cars and brown coffee. My Ford truck. All right, thank you. Thanks for subscribing, and have a wonderful rest of your day.